We're here today with Josh Haddon, 28-year-old comedian who has a web series called The Funny Thing About Cancer. You can find him at Haddon on Twitter, which is way too difficult to spell. Or the Josh Haddon blog at joshhaddon.wordpress.com. Josh has recently kind of gotten a bit of notoriety and some notice by posting an AMA on Reddit as a 28-year-old comedian dying of cancer who's trying to inspire people to have more fun with life. Josh, thank you very much for taking this time to being with us. Considering now it says you're dying of cancer, and that's correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Yeah, I was told I have a 2 to 5% chance of modern medicine working, and that would get me more than 3 years, 3 years of life.
So what kind of cancer do you have?
I have esophageal cancer. It's stage 3, but it's also spread into my lymph nodes and towards my lungs as well.
Okay. When did you find out about this?
I found out a while ago. So, we're closing in on the end of December here. I found out probably a month ago. I've known myself for about 7 weeks because I was told, just throughout testing and things like that, because you go for a lot of tests before they actually tell you. But I made sure that I got on the good side of nurses and doctors so that they'd tell me when they weren't supposed to. I've known for a while. I'm just coming to the end of my first round of chemo.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
That's wow. Okay, so you just found out you have cancer. You found out that your expectancy or your chance of surviving isn't good because it's spread, and that's also all been recent. You just started going back. You're doing chemo, and a lot of people in this situation might have, a lot of people in this situation might have just turtled up, not come out and said anything. You've taken a few steps to put together a blog, a web series. You've done an AMA that's gotten some
traction
on
Reddit.
Traction here. Why have you gone this route?
Wow. Yeah. Most people don't handle things well just on a day-to-day basis. Like they stub their toe or they get a flat tire and they just they turtle up, as if that was the expression you used, and they melt down over those things. Right. So, I'm not that kind of person. I've always been very optimistic, more like a cynical optimist, I guess. I like reporting on the disgusting, trivial nuances of the human condition, but in sort of a fun way. But I've always been optimistic, and I've always been a very public person, especially owning the comedy club and being a comedian. I've been out there, so I thought it'd be kind of hypocritical. I Googled what to do. Well, obviously, that's what you do. Hey, Google, what do I do?
You Googled.
Hey,
what did you Google exactly, though? You Googled, I'm dying?
Yeah, I have cancer. What do I do? Things like that, right? Just as raw and cut down as you could think of. That's what I was throwing into Google for days, right? So, Google, do I Facebook my cancer? Things like that.
Status update.
I didn't know what to do, and
I see
everything. Go ahead. Sorry.
I watched someone Facebook an interesting bowl of cereal that they made. Cancer's definitely something you can Facebook. It's not. I think you'd be okay with that.
Well, it's so hypocritical not to. You're Facebooking. Oh, hey, I went to Costa Rica, or whatever. So
check out my bae.
Or just stupid pictures of your, dinner, right? You're exactly right. Why not Facebook this? And I just think I can help a lot of people because I'm handling it well, and I'll always handle it well. And not to be a martyr, more of just sort of help inspire people. I want people to live better, and I've been saying this my whole life. I've been telling my friends to stop whining, stop complaining. You're the only. My friends will be like, "Oh, I want to live in LA." Okay, go do it then. Just go to LA. That's all you have to do, right? And I've been saying that, but now, and this is so sick and dark, but luckily having cancer makes me more of an authority on how to live your life.
So you've always been the guy that say, shut the fuck up about your ex-girlfriend, get over it, And now when you say that to somebody, it really holds fucking some authority, and you're using that for good. What did you do? Sorry, go ahead.
Exactly. Well, I guess now it has some weight, right? Where before it was, oh, Josh, that's what he's been saying forever, So.
What did you do what was the first thing you did when you found out you had cancer and then it was this bad?
This is silly. Okay, so I was, I knew sort of that I had cancer from my biopsy doctor. After I came to, I was like, hey man, what do you think, right? And he's like, oh, it's definitely cancer. And then I fell right back asleep because I was on the drugs, like all the sedatives. So when I came back out, I asked the nurse, did he really say that? She's like, yeah. I was like, no way. But I still had to wait for the results. So knowing I probably had cancer, I did what any normal person would do. I went and partied with all my friends. So I was up till probably 5 in the morning. I wake up really hungover to a phone call at like 10:05 in the morning, December 1st. And I answer it, and it's this girl. Her name's Honey. I can't make this stuff up. Her name's Honey. She works at the Leamington Hospital. And she says, hey, you've got, Josh, just want to tell you, biopsy came back, and it was malignant. And I was like, malignant, that's the bad one, right? She's like, yeah, you have cancer. So I hang up the phone. I'm like, I thank her. I'm like, thank you, honey. And then I hang up the phone. And the app, I guess the last app I fell asleep on was Tinder. So that's now open, staring me in the face. And I just start Tindering for like 3 or 4 minutes after finding out that I had cancer, which is hilarious. I'm swiping left, which if you don't know, means you're not interested in the person. And I'm thinking to myself, how terrible is this person? I'm dying and I'm saying no to them, right? Like,
you could be that could be your last fuck and you're still going nope.
Yeah, no, it's cool. My time is way more finite. I still don't want anything to do with you. Yeah,
that's a good. Brutal. You should also be an authority on good Tinder profiles as well. You can pass that message along. Fuck, that's unbelievable. So this has all been within the span of how long? Like the last 2-3 months?
I found out for sure that it was really December 1st. That's real. Wow. December 1st was when, I guess that was the day I had my cry, because I didn't want to be doing this through denial. So I sat down, and I know the stages of grief, so I have a psychologist degree, like I get it. So I sat down and just thought about it, and I had my cry, and I was like, all right, well, hey, another chapter in the, crazy life that is Josh Haddon's, right? And yeah, moved along. But yeah, December 1st was when it was real. Like 100% I knew that everyone else was right and that I did have cancer. And people have been amazing. They've rushed me everywhere because I'm young. They don't want a 28-year-old dead guy on their hands, right? So yeah. I've been rushed through everything. That's why I'm able to start chemo right away. My buddy, Pete, he just found out his cancer's back like 2 weeks ago, and they can't even get him in for chemo until like January 18th. So I've been truly pretty special.
So let me get this straight. This is pretty severe. You're still going through the chemo to fight this cancer, and the chemo is to fight like a 2 or 5% chance. The chemo is so that the 2 to 5% chance of living comes to fruition, correct?
Yeah. There's but that's, they average out everyone. So yeah, I have a 2 to 5% chance compared to 70-year-olds who get this, and 1-year-olds who get this. Right?
Hi, Josh. This is Kevin from The Last Gentleman. I just have a quick question. This is just listening to the story. I have a coworker of mine. He was in his early 30s, really healthy guy. All of a sudden, one day, just starts having back pains, and it turns out he had stage 4, something. I'm not sure the exact cancer, but it was something with his intestines, and I swear it must have been 2 months later, passed away.
Thanks for bringing that up.
No. I have a lead up.
Hold on. Wonderful job there, Kevin. Wonderful.
No.
Fantastic
This
work.
is an important question because I think about this all the time as well.
Would we get a Juno or a Gemini for this? That was fantastic.
What's that award you get for journalism?
Any more great stories
No.
So what's the question?
No.
Sorry to be so sensitive. Were you guys close?
No. No, Josh.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
not trying to. No, the reason why I say this is I think about this all the time because cancer. I've had many family members pass away of cancer, and I think about this all the time. And when I'm wondering within the last, so you found out December 1st, but my question is if you're gonna look back, like let's say the last 6 months before you found out, did you notice any slight change in your body? Any little like symptoms? Any little things where you're like, you know, I'm kind of feeling a little weird lately, like anything? Because like my biggest fear, because sometimes people go like months, sometimes years with something that, you know, that's they don't know what's going on, and next thing you know, boom, oh yeah, you have stage 4 cancer. So it's something that goes undetected. So I just want to know, did you notice anything within the last like 6 months and a change in your body?
Sure, I'm just one person, but what I've discovered is that your body is pretty intelligent. Your body's telling you what's going on. Like, I didn't understand what my body was saying, but it was telling me, hey pal, you know, hey, fix us. I fell into like this weird deep depression, which was so unlike me. I've obviously battled, what's it all mean? I'm not worth it. You know, like everyone does. And that's just comedy and failing on stage. Right. But I was battling this like dark depression, and I had this weird back pain. Like I couldn't walk sometimes. And I didn't understand. And I was trying to get painkillers, and you know how doctors are. They're like, no. And I'm like, well, I want to get out and I want to do stuff. And my doctor wouldn't give me painkillers. So then I was I was in Windsor, Ontario, which is like, you know, factory worker capital of Canada. So like everyone has perks and stuff. So I was like on there, I was taking their painkillers, and that was trying to get me by, but still telling my doctor, I haven't really smoked pot since high school, and my body was craving marijuana. Now this is the craziest thing in the world. But about 3 months ago, I started buying like a little bit of weed and smoking it at night, and it made my sleeping better and just made me feel better. And this sounds, I'm sure, insane to anyone listening, and no one will ever believe me, but everyone in my life does. They're like, why are you smoking pot all of a sudden? I'm like, I don't know, man. My body, it's just what I want. And so like I was in pain. I had depression. Now, if you Google all this stuff, it's all part of having cancer, any cancer that comes with, you know, depression and back pain. And then I was having trouble swallowing. It was hurting in my throat to swallow. And then once that got bad, and I needed like a pint glass, after 3 weeks of needing like a pint of water to get my food down, I was like, I have to figure something out. So I went and made them test me.
Have you looked into using cannabinoids or THC oils or any kind of THC alternative treatments to treat this cancer?
Yeah, we're giving it. My mom's a nurse, right? So I kind of have to try chemo first, or else, you know, my family will disown me.
You don't want to
I don't know if that's. Go ahead.
You don't want to let anyone down.
Yeah, I don't want to piss them off with my cancer, you know. So even though, I'm being pretty accommodating by allowing them to poison me with chemo. But my friend Alan Park, I don't know, you guys might know him from your circles. He's a comedian. He was on Royal Canadian Air Force for 8 years.
Yeah.
He was diagnosed with stage 4, go home and die cancer. That's what they said. Go make yourself comfortable, get your affairs in order. So that was over a year ago, and he's cured himself. He's gained all his weight back, all with cannabis oil. So, you know, that's plan 2. So if chemo doesn't work, I'm going to do cannabis oil and just travel the world, either getting better or dying. And that's the plan.
Either way, you're going to be high as fuck, which...
that's what my fear is, because I like life, right? I like appreciating the daily the nuances. And I don't know, I love everything about, you know, getting up. Like, I hate the ache in my elbow. I hate how the shower's cold. Like, but it's in a fun way. It's like, yeah, at least I get to be here, you know, at least I get to do this, because I do what I want almost every day, and I always have. It's not a cancer thing. So I'd like to survive, but if not, I've lived a hell of 28 years, and not many people get to say that. Like, if over 90% of the people I know got cancer, they would be filled instantly with like this deep, sad feeling of regret. And that's part of the reason I started the web series, was to tell people, start living your life now. Stop planning for a future that may never come. Like, people save for retirement. They're saving 30 years for retirement.
That's
so many people are dying or sick in retirement? Why are you waiting till then?
Well,
like, who wants to eat at 5 p.m. while they're in France, or Amsterdam? Why do you want to, you want to be young and virile and happy?
One of the things I kind of realized myself this year, while I was working jobs I fucking hated before I made like a jump into doing comedy and radio full time, was that I could fucking fail doing this shit that I hate, or just drop dead one day in the middle of doing this job that I hate. And then I spent my entire life, essentially just fucking, I wasted it. I was just waiting to die in a way. So, like, what you're saying is so resonated with me so much, and I think it'll resonate with the audience we have here so much, because it's something we've been preaching. Now, tell us about your web series. Your web series. What's your goal behind the web series? What are the kinds of things you're saying on that web series?
Well, I've released 4 videos, so like maybe I think 18 minutes of total content, but they're just I give an update of what's going on, because I have so many acquaintances all over the world who are asking me questions, and I don't want to sit and have individual Facebook conversations. So that was the first idea why I wanted to do this. And then I also sort of just wanted to smack everyone in the face. I was just going to do one video, the first one, and I've since changed the title and called it episode 1. But I was just going to smack everyone in the face with, hey guys, remember when I have told you for 10 years that you need to start living and enjoying things? Well, let's go. Like, it's time now, right? So that was my first plan. And then it kind of went crazy. It went like semi-viral. I know it's not viral in today's standard, but it went semi-viral. And then my buddy's like, you should put this on Reddit. And when I put the video on Reddit, I got 50,000 views and thousands of messages, like emails and direct messages on Reddit of people saying how inspired they were and how it changed their life and personal stories. And that's basically what I do all day, is I just answer all those messages. One by one, I'm getting to every single one. And people saying, I'm a 18-year-old man in Australia, I'm completely lost and I don't know what I want to do, and my parents tell me to do this, and they're like, what would you do? So I'm giving very reckless advice to impressionable people right now, and I don't give a shit, because
fuck them.
Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah.
Unless you have 5 kids and a wife and you're the sole breadwinner, even then you can listen to me and just be a piece of shit human, but you'd be happy, But unless that's your situation, you can take what I'm saying and put it in practice and start changing your life today. Right? And a lot of our demographic, we didn't have kids early. It wasn't ingrained in us. We still had student loans and shit, right? So the demographic that followed me before I had cancer, I'm hoping it does help change their lives.
One of the things about radio, and this is something that's been like blown into my head this past year, is that radio really is about talking to one person. At the end of the day, you want to have this conversation between, like, so it's me, you, Kev, and then you'd imagine there's one guy on the couch listening to this. And that might actually be our listenership, to be honest with you. There might only be one person listening to this, but
oh man, I got up for this.
Yeah, surprise.
But if you were to give one, like, with that being said, with that one person in mind, so what kind of advice? What has this taught you? Because it kind of sounds like you had this mentality in your head, the whole fuck it, go forward, do what you want to do, live your life for yourself before the cancer. But now that you have, as I guess we've coined it before, you have the Cancer Authority now. What would you tell somebody who's a little lost with what they wanted to do, a little out of their depth, not knowing what step they should take, kind of stuck in the grind of life? What advice would you give our listener?
The one piece of advice I'd give is, it's pretty cliche, but it worked. And someone told me this when I was a kid. It was to find what you love and the money will come. And that's not always true. I've had 100 businesses, but you need money to live. Let's be honest. So find what you like to do and find a way to make money at it. And if you're not sure, who cares? Just borrow money and start doing things you want to do until that runs out. And that is so reckless and terrible. But I just think, why not max up a credit card and go experience some things?
as opposed to racking up a student loan for a career that you don't want anyway. Right? You're going to get way more out of life from the cultural and human interaction experiences that you're going to get from traveling or doing something you love than you would sitting at Humber College for, X, right, when you're not interested in it. Now, if you want to take the comedy program, they're great. That's awesome if want to be in comedy. But, if you're taking a interior design course because someone said you were good at painting your room and you have no idea what you're doing, that is the biggest waste of money I've ever seen in my life, and people do it day after day after day. And you brought it up. You said you can sail doing what you hate, and that's I saw Jim Carrey doing a commencement speech at a university, and he said something very similar. He said it told a story about his father, and his father was an accountant, and his father was the sole breadwinner, and then his father worked his butt off for the whole family and lost his job.
Yep.
They just fired him, and it was over. And Jim Carrey said that taught him that my father, who took the safe route, the societal, normal route, the route everyone is supposed to take, my father did that, wasn't the happiest, made the best of it, and still failed.
Yeah.
So if you can fail at doing the safe route, especially in this economic climate, why not try failing at what you want to do and exactly what makes you happy?
It's beautiful.
So
that's a beautiful sentiment. Thank you for sharing that with us. I bet like this experience, one of the positive parts of this experience, and there probably aren't many, is that you now get to speak to a lot of people and put this message across to a lot of different people. And I bet you've also been able to just like, have you slammed a lot of sympathy pussy down like along the way as well? Like that's
all right. Here we go. Yeah, when I put it on Facebook. Okay, so this is sick. So I was doing a lot of dating. I was doing a lot of dating before I made it public, and then I would just like drop the bomb towards like the fourth or fifth drink. And
the fourth drink's the
slamming pussy.
That's a key drink.
So yeah, I had a really good run before I started chemo. And then when I put it on Facebook, like 9 different girls in 7 days. It was a lot of fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was silly, but a lot were repeats and people who like at one time loved me. They just like popped out of the woodwork. There was like this parade of ex-girlfriends and ex-flings, which those are the best kind. They know what you like, right?
Yeah.
You know what they like. It's hey, it's exciting, right? It's like making your favorite dish instead of trying
pussy.
to make sushi, right? So
That's amazing.
yeah, it was. Yeah, I had a blast. It was a lot of fun, and it's terrible. And I make jokes. Like part of my new stand-up will all be a bunch of cancer jokes, which I'm sure I'll never work again. But one of the things is if I ever find out that I'm cured, I'm not telling anyone. I'm
just keep rolling.
I'm just gonna keep riding it. Yeah,
Let's try to get you a drink. We gotta try to get you a beverage sponsorship. Just make this really easy for you. Josh is brought to you by Smirnoff Ice, and after 4 of them, you just drop your story. That's beautiful.
Oh wow,
after
classy.
4, you drop the story. The gentleman Jack. You wait till she has a buzz to bring it up. No. Yeah.
You know what's sick? And unfortunately, we do have quite a bit of listeners, and someone's going to use that, even though they don't have cancer.
That's terrible. That's so terrible.
They're terrible people.
That's bad karma, man.
Use something else. You just want to show fragility. It doesn't have to be cancer, right?
Yeah.
Like I used to hold seminars for like picking up women like years ago when I was an idiot. It's always been a good thing of mine is that being out talking to girls, and I was never abusive about it. I've always been great. It's not like you'll get any calls from this air saying, he treated me like shit. You'll just get glowing reports, I'm sure. My numbers are pretty high. Like no Gretzky, but definitely like a Gordie Howe. And,
nice.
Yeah, Gordie Howe because it's a little like dirtier, right? But they just, instead of using cancer, they don't have to lie. Just use something that shows fragility. So if you're the type of person who would use cancer, why not just say, I really think I'm a piece of shit. I'm not happy with who I am, right? Like that's all you have to say because you are a piece of shit if you lie about cancer and you shouldn't be happy with who you are. So at least you're not lying, right? And just show that side to her. Don't tell her you were going to use cancer to bang her, but I would, but I would just be honest.
So the 4 drink fragility, and that's a recipe for getting laid, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, well, I think fragility, you've aired confidence the entire time, obviously, because, well, in my case, like, and then the other thing, like, I'm a 5, right? So, like, my confidence makes me a 7.
Yeah.
Throw cancer, I'm a 9. I'm a 300-pound 9, buddy. Right? So, sweet. So, but if you're walking around and you're on a date, you've showed confidence, right? And then you just, like, boom, you throw in that human element, and then you just brush it off right away. I don't know why I told you that, like, I don't know why I told you that. Whatever. Let's just have fun. Yeah. Hey, can I get another round? Blah, blah, blah. Bang, bang. It's just like it did happen, but she's just like, oh my God. And, yeah, I don't know if it helps. Well, it does help. I know it helps. It helps. I'm lying.
That's amazing.
I'm not going to lie.
That's amazing.
I got nothing to hide. Life's too short.
Life is too short to hide your, I love that your inspiring message, but I also like that behind everything there's also a fucking pickup artist seminar teacher in you. which is amazing. Have you ever considered like a spiritual journey? I know you're like going on like a vision quest, taking something like mushrooms, DMT, or ayahuasca.
Have I ever considered doing that?
Yeah, like now, especially specifically now that you've got this prognosis.
No, I've never considered that.
You should.
Yeah, I don't know what that would do. I feel like I'm pretty introspective already, and I spend a lot of time thinking about the world and myself and things. So I've never, but yeah, what would be the benefit of that, Jay, do you think?
Well,
maybe I'll consider it. Life's like, why not try a new experience?
So I did this thing called DMT, okay? a couple months ago, and it fucking blew my mind. Have you ever tried any psychedelics before? Have you ever taken any psychedelics?
Well, I've done, like, when I was a kid, like in my late teens, maybe early 20s, probably last time, acid and mushrooms, once a month, maybe. Okay, so DMT is kind of like mushrooms times 1,000, where you smoke it, and then everyone, I did it with it, like, I did it like sweatshop style with about 12 of my buddies, and you smoke it in a crack pipe, so it's classy, it's a classier drug. The gentleman's vision quest.
Gentleman's. It's very gentlemanly. So, but we all had shared experiences, and it's essentially what the theory is that right before people die, that the brain shoots a bunch of DMT. It's a chemical that recurs in the body. And that's that is the chemical that produces the hallucination that causes your dream state. And it's also the chemical that causes the hallucination that people see when they have their near-death experiences. So you're essentially shot, like for me and my friends that did it, we all kind of similar experience where you get shot through this tunnel of light, and you get shot through a tunnel of light, and then are in the middle of this, like, you're completely out of your body. It's literally like you're in a rocket ship that goes into space. You're in the middle of these fractals that are moving, and you're seeing shit, and then I encountered this entity that came out of the fractals and just told me that love is all that matters. Everything is about love. Love is all that matters. And it was fucking very spiritually powerful. When I came back from it, I was kind of fucking blown away, and my friends had similar experiences.
Crazy.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah.
I know. Sounds awesome though.
It is fucking pretty awesome. It can be scary because you're getting the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, you're gone. It's not like mushrooms where you're like, you got like 7 minutes and you're like, you see your buddy and he turns into a snake. You're like, hey man, you're Cobra Commander. No, you're fucking gone.
Yeah, spaceship, baby.
Spaceship out of here. But
how do you ensure your safety on one of these?
It's pretty safe. Like, I've done it with 20 different people. This is how you ensure safety. You do
I trust 20 people enough to do that with them. That's awesome. That's
yeah,
sweet.
like I have a lot of like I've been the shaman for this fucking thing. Where I've basically I brought it
You're
to
my shaman.
I've brought it to my friends. We've done it together. You need a sitter, and you need someone that you can trust, because like you're going through an interdimensional trip on somebody else's couch. So if you think that guy's gonna put his dick in your face while you're tripping balls, it'll manifest into like you meeting the 3-dicked machine, or like an owl made out of dicks, because your subconscious is worried that your buddy Ralph is a piece of shit. He's gonna draw a cock on your face.
Fucking Ralph.
Yeah, fucking Ralph, right? So you have to do it with somebody you trust or be in a safe spot. And then, you just sit down, you're comfortable, and you come back in 7 minutes and you're just fine. It's fucking crazy.
You come back that quickly?
Yeah, like this is how it happens. You're gone for 7 minutes, you're in a different dimension meeting fractal owls, okay? And then you're getting like you learn this message, you start feeling certain things. Then you come back and for about an hour, you're kind of like euphoric. It was kind of like, because I had a Percocet issue, but before, it's kind of like that. You feel like you're on like 8 perks for a little bit. And then after an hour, you're back to like 100. You can go skiing. You want to ski right after? 2 hours later, you can ski. You're good.
Right on. Sweet.
Yeah. So it's something.
Yeah, I can see me wanting to do that. Yeah.
DMT. I like this.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I will email you. I will email you DMT information.
I'm taking notes. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
This shit is fantastic, and it's an interesting. It's something that it's not gonna like cure anything, but if you got 7 minutes, you want to go to space. It's pretty cheap way to go to space
and not spend 3 hours watching Interstellar.
Yeah. Did you watch Interstellar, Josh?
Pardon?
Have you seen Interstellar yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet. No.
So that whole end of the movie's about DMT. Like, it's fucking crazy. I won't ruin it. I don't want to keep you much longer, Josh. I'm really happy that you came here and you got to spread your message. Where can people find you? Where can we go and read your stuff and follow you going forward?
Yeah, best way is joshhaddon.com, so Haddon. Or you can just Google Josh Haddon. You can find me. Even if you spell my name right, if you're at Josh Haddon Cancer or whatever, I come up.
We'll retweet this.
Yeah, that's the best way. Twitter at Haddon, and then once I'll tweet this out as well, and I'll tag your the podcast as well as you and Kevin J.
Yeah.
Do you have any recent any stand up events coming up? Any place anyone can go see you?
No, I'm performing in Windsor New Year's Eve at my comedy club, the Comedy Quarry.
Yeah.
So if anyone's down that way and wants to come out, I think it's sold out. Oh, no, the dinner and the show is. There's still some show tickets left.
How easy is it to go to Detroit and just buy a gun at any time?
Like legally?
No, just if I'm in Windsor,
I can get a gun in about 20 minutes. Legally.
That's amazing. Okay, sorry.
Legally. But yeah, 20 minutes.
Jesus. I'd ask that.
Like from my house to getting to the States to buying a gun, 20 minutes. Like,
oh my god, this is so
that's
fucking
a complete
scary.
trip.
That's amazing.
I live 5 blocks from the tunnel, so.
Oh
I love
my
it.
God.
Buy a pack of smokes, get a gun, do some comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd buy a carton, but yeah.
Buy a fucking carton.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super. Get a carton.
One of the things. Okay, so you have your stand-up dates coming up. Your comedy club is the Comedy Quarry in Windsor.
Yeah, and that's New Year's Eve, and then I think I'm in Ajax, Ontario on the. I don't know. I'm not going to plug that douchebag show. Never mind. I don't know. I'm getting paid like $50 to host some garbage. I don't know where it
We
is.
could talk shit about them.
And then I need it, man. Cancer and drugs are expensive.
Yeah.
I got to take it. No, and then I'll be doing some yuck stuff end of January or whatever. But that'll all be on my website and on Twitter.
Have you put up like a donations page or anything like that on your website?
That's cool that you asked. I don't want to be a charity, so what I'm going to do, I've been offered a bunch of book deals from publishers.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy fuck.
So what I'm going to do instead is do a Kickstarter where you can pre-buy my book. And I'm going to for $20. So I think I'm going to do something like that. That's actually what I was doing when you called, because I'm going to be on Daily Mail and BuzzFeed this week.
Yeah.
So I want to get that up by the time that hits the internet.
Dude, I implore you, if you're having issues with your cancer medication, I implore you to put up a donate button on a PayPal donate. We do it we're a podcast. I talk about my dick for an hour. And I ask people for money. Right? And people actually are kind enough because they like hearing about my dick because it's kind of strange. They're kind enough to donate a couple of bucks. And I know, people would love, there's a lot of people that would love to donate. And I really implore you to consider doing that. It doesn't make you a charity. Myself, I've been fortunate enough to live my dream this year and actually get a job in radio, work the media world. And the one thing I've learned working very closely with charities, is that a lot of them are fucking not really charities. When you really go into the percentage of how much is going to that starving kid in a different country, it's disgusting, right? So
Clayton Magazine does a great ratings thing if you ever want to check it out and maybe do a show on that.
Yeah.
Where they rate all the charities in Canada. It's incredible how bullshit
it's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So I implore you, start something, even a couple bucks. People would love to kick in, and just like it's not being a charity. It's just you're a funny guy. I think what you're doing is inspirational. I think what you're saying, because if it was me and I had the same disease you had, I would be going to Canada Trust, taking out $500,000 as a business loan, and I would do all the cocaine. And then there would be there would be all of the cocaine I could find, and my head would explode, or I would be really thin and very handsome after that, because I imagine I wouldn't be eating much, but I would waste it, and people want to support. I think there's people that would support you and want to help and see a good guy like you have an easier fight, or be in your corner. Like fucking UFC fighters get sponsored. You know what I mean? And I look at you as a fighter with an inspirational message, and just consider that there's people that would want to sponsor you in this fight. You know what I'm saying?
That's really nice, Joe. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Thank you for those comments.
No problem, buddy. And I'm looking forward to we'll talk off air later. I'm looking forward to bringing you on the Sirius XM as well and getting you some more traction. And it's something I want to say on air to kind of hold me to it, because I'm going to broadcast this as well, so people will listen and go, what the fuck, right? If it doesn't happen. So I'm really grateful for your time. Thank you for sharing your message of, living your life to the fullest while you still can. And you're the fucking gentleman. You're honorary gentleman.
Gentleman of the week.
Gentleman of the week, my friend. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin, too, man. Sorry about your coworker, buddy.
No, yeah. It's all good, man.
Thanks.
I wasn't trying to be a buzzkill.
I guarantee you, worst question you'll ever hear on your media circuit.
I loved it.
Hey,
I'm just teasing, man. No,
hey,
cool.
man. Hey, you're making me feel like shit now, man. It was a legit question.
Listen,
Don't fall on it, man. Life's too short. Take care, guys.
Take care.
See you, buddy.